If there's noise in the background, I do apologize ahead of time, such as that, if you can hear it. But I wanted to let you know that suffering, struggle, and misfortune is not a part of soul growth. Let me rephrase that. It is not necessary to experience those things for the evolution of your soul. I want to say, I know that Earth is known for being this crazy planet that is full of difficulties, that is full of like shitty stuff that humans naturally have to overcome. And a result of that is growth. That is indeed true. But what we often leave out is that struggle is a choice. I'm not talking about people who are literally born into destitute situations where they are struggling. In that case, their soul might have actually wanted the experience of going through that sort of situation. Different case. But odds are, if you're watching this, you don't live in a third world country and your soul wanted to experience the power of choice. Okay? You came here to enjoy yourself. You did not come here with the thought of, you know what, let me struggle my whole entire life, hate my experience there, and then come out on the other side so that I know just how tough the earth experience is. You came here to have fun. You came here to have a thrill. You came here to have adventure. And while shadow work is important, and I'm always going to champion it, the goal isn't to just get really good at healing. I made a video about the trap of shadow work, right? And how easy it is to fall into this cycle and this loophole of thinking that you constantly need to heal something and some sort of syndrome of perfectionism in order to like live the life that you want. And I want to admit and say that I fell victim to the same trap. I'm not immune to it. But now that I'm outside of it, I'm realizing just how much we don't need to spend all of this time doing shadow work and healing. When you become light enough, and what I mean by that is when you have shed enough things, you reach like this threshold. You cross this threshold of realizing that you can just choose not to feel shitty. You can just choose to be like, you know what? I am no longer entering into an agreement with sadness or jealousy or anger because that is not the reality I want to experience anymore. We all have the power of what we choose to enter into agreements in. In my last video, I was talking about how it's a form of victim mentality to say things such as, that made me feel this way. No, you subconsciously entered into an agreement with that thing to experience an emotion of your choice. And just because you're comfortable choosing the same emotion all the time doesn't mean that that thing made you feel a certain type of way. Because not everybody reacts to the same thing in the same way. Because we have that choice. And so I want to bring you back to, you came here to have fun. Sometimes you reach a point where you're like, you know what? I don't want to go through this long journey through the 3D time. Sometimes I just want to quantum collapse that shit and realize that I'm not bothered by that anymore. Because the ability to be able to make that choice is just a matter of knowing your power and knowing that you can do that. Just knowing that you can do that and not feeling like you're abandoning some part of yourself or anything like that. That'll do the job. That is enough. Because it really does all start in here. Have I said enough? I think I've said enough. But, man, break up with the struggle. Divorce from the idea of having to freaking suffer. Because I reached the point I was like, man, I don't want to suffer no more. I don't want to feel bad anymore. I want to feel good every day. I want to feel good in every moment. Now, do I still experience triggers? Yes. But the sign of healing isn't that you don't get triggered anymore. The sign is how much importance you give to that feeling, that you give to that experience. I've gotten to the point when like I see something, I see it for what it is, and I let it pass like a cloud in the sky. And I didn't get there through like meditating all the time. I've just gotten so experienced with like processing emotions and understanding what they are that it comes to me that easily now. And I want to be a testimony because for those of you that have followed me, I've made videos about like my struggles and the feelings that I go through, the shadow work and all of that stuff. And now I'm finally at a point where I can just decide not to engage with that shit anymore. And it feels good. I went through a lot of trial and error and strife to get to this point, and I want to serve as a point of reference for someone else who has been going through the rings, the tussles with whatever emotion, whatever version of themselves that is stricken with fear or anxiety or depression. You can get to this point too, because you deserve to feel good. You're God for Christ's sake. I feel like there's a pun in there somewhere, but like your source, you're all that is. You are never outside of unconditional love. You deserve it. You're worthy of it. Your worth isn't even on the table. Take it off the table. If you can approach everything from like, okay, if I know that my worth is never involved, how can I perceive this now? You should be able to see it differently. If not, that's okay too. Like if you're exactly where you're meant to be, but you deserve to feel good. All right. So I hope this message was helpful. I intend this message was helpful. If there's something you'd like for me to speak on, leave a comment below. I'd love to do it. I love to teach. I love this stuff, man. This is why I do it. I'm working on consistency. All right. If you, my friend, are not walking around with some sort of energetic protection, you are truly doing yourself a disservice. You can be absorbing all kinds of energy from places, from people who are feeling depressed or angry or irritated, and the next thing you know, you're wondering why you don't feel so good. A lot of times, it's not even coming from within the house, it's coming from somewhere else. Now, what you can do is you can get yourself some black crystals like onyx or obsidian, get you a symbol like the evil eye, or even a cross will do you some good. But if you would like to have something a little bit more intentional, a little bit more elevated, my partner and I have created these protection amulets. And we have put so much intention and thought behind everything with this amulet, down from the material that it's made out of, down to it having the sigil of Archangel Michael. So many cool things. So if that's something that you sound interested in, I'm going to leave a link below where you'll find even more information about the details that went into this amulet, okay? I'll see you later.